Hi, I'm Jill Solomon, and I have been a client of the St. John Clark Pain Management Center for about 4 years.
How did you hear about the St. John Clark Pain Treatment Center?
I came to the clinic upon the recommendation of my pain management doctor. She had told me that what Randy and the group here do is very, very different than massage therapy, even though they use massage therapy principles. Well, I tuned her out for, several months because I had a massage therapist. Then over the summer, I was having lots and lots of pain in my lower back and in my legs and a lot of burning pain. So I went back to my orthopedic surgeon I went back to my neurosurgeon who had given me, I'd seen for discectomy laminectomy several years before. And he said I needed a spinal fusion, and I was terrified. So then I went to the best orthopedic surgeon in Tampa Bay for low back, and he said I needed a spinal fusion. So at that point I paid attention to what my pain management doctor said, and I thought, well, I'll come see Randy and see what he can do before I undergo such a dramatic surgery. So I came over here and I told Randy my whole orthopedic history, and he says, well, I know what's wrong with you, but without even examining you, I know what's wrong. One leg's shorter than the other. So in fact, I went and I had an x-ray, pelvic x-ray, and came back, and he looked at my x-ray and he said, yeah, your right leg's shorter than your left leg. He said, instead of having a spinal fusion, why don't we just try putting a lift in your right shoe? So I go to take my shoes down to the shoe guy in downtown St. Pete, and we put virtually a half-inch lift on all of my right shoes. Randy says, do not take your shoes off for the next 3 months. You have to get back into alignment. Your legs have to get used to being the same length. So I was really good about it. And less than a week later, my back pain starts to ease up. And then I'm coming to Randy for treatment. And when I first came, he said, normal pelvic rotation should be about 5 to 10 degrees. Well, I was 27 degrees on my right and 18 degrees on my left. So then he worked with me, and we got my hips in the same plane, and then he straightened me up. So then I had my hips for pelvic rotation at about 12 degrees, which is really about as good as I get. And my back pain was incredibly lessened. So what I found out is I didn't need a spinal fusion. I needed a half-inch on my shoe. And that was a really easy decision to make.
Would you or have you recommended the St. John Clark Pain Treatment Center to someone you know?
I've recommended the clinic to several people. And I have one really good friend who said it saved her life, just like it saved my life. And sometimes I see Randy, sometimes I see Ramona, and sometimes I see Kevin. And it works out really well for me because they're all trained in exactly the same techniques. And I like to change it up a little bit because sometimes one finds something that the other one doesn't find, and I just feel like I get a really great experience. When I started coming here, I was 56 years old, and now I'm 53, so it's worked out really well for me.
How has Neurosomatic Therapy and the St. John Clark Pain Treatment Center improved your life?
I know my back is never going to be perfect, but with the therapy I receive here, I can live a normal life.